Hat, sunglasses, Pepsi, notes, sources, thick skin, check. You already know. Let's go. Welcome to Golden Blue today, everybody. This is a college football channel. So if you like college football, hit the like and subscribe button. It's that simple. Also, send gear to represent your team and be a part of my background forever. All you have to do is send it to P.O. Box 360, Liberty, South Carolina 29657. Yeah, another car video. Sorry about it, guys. Some of these are actually pretty good, though. I have to do videos whenever I can fit them in. My schedule is absolutely crazy. So I've had to do one previous car video today, and I'm having to do another just because how crazy my schedule is. But some of these car videos are actually pretty good. Some of them, yeah, they are flops. So I will let you be the judge and decide whether this was a good car video or a bad car video. So tonight is the new playoff rankings. Of course, I'll be doing a live show, but I wanted to reveal who I thought the top 10 teams should be for the playoff rankings. It won't be like this, people. Don't get me wrong. This is not a prediction, but this is my opinion who I think should be ranked where in the new playoff rankings. Just for tickles and giggles, here's what the new AP Top 25 looks like. Number 1, Georgia. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Michigan. Number 4, TCU. Number 5, Tennessee. Number 6, LSU. Number 7, USC. Number 8, Alabama. Number 9, Clemson. Number 10, Utah. Number 11, Penn State. Number 12, Oregon. Number 13, North Carolina. Number 14, Ole Miss. Number 15, Washington. Number 16, UCLA. Number 17, UCF. Number 18, Notre Dame. Number 19, Kansas State. Number 20, Florida State. Number 21, Tulane. Number 22, Cincinnati. Number 23, Coastal Carolina. Number 24, Oklahoma State. Number 25, Oregon State. Maybe that gives us some type of clue of what the playoff rankings could look like, but at the same time, the playoff rankings have looked completely different from the AP poll from time to time. Here's how I would rank the top 10, because really that's all the people care about, the top 10. Those are the teams that have a real shot of making the playoffs, right? Here's my top 10, and I give you my actual reasons, all right? Starting at number 10. Number 10, this is where I would have Alabama. Alabama should not be ranked higher than number 10. I have no idea why the playoff committee has them ranked where they do, even up till now. And I'm sure they'll be even higher with Oregon losing this week. But I would have Alabama at number 10. They have ranked wins against number 20, Arkansas, number 24, Mississippi State, number 11, Ole Miss. And they have a good win against Texas. Now, even if these teams aren't ranked anymore, just to be consistent across the board, if your team beat a ranked team, I will list it. Of course, they have 2 losses against Tennessee and LSU. And don't forget, Alabama struggled against a bad Texas A&M at home. So yes, I do think that Alabama is a top 10 team, but that's it. They haven't looked good. They've survived bad teams, and they have 2 losses. I have Alabama at number 10. Number 9, this is where I have LSU. Yes, I think LSU has been overranked for the past 2 weeks. When they came out at number 10 in the first playoff rankings, what an absolute joke. And of course, after they beat Alabama, you knew they were going up. This week, Oregon loses, so they're going to go up even more. But for me, I would have them at number 9. They do have some great wins over number 7, Ole Miss, and number 6, Alabama. And of course, a good win against Mississippi State. I have to count that for LSU. But they still have 2 losses. They lost to Florida State and Tennessee. Don't forget, LSU also had bad games against Auburn and Arkansas. I don't think a lot of people are factoring that in as well. Those 2 losses still count. I don't care if this looks like a different team. Those 2 losses are still there. So I do have LSU in the top 10, but number 9 is as high as I can go with the 2-loss team. I'm sorry, it's just how it is. Number 8, you're really going to hate me for this one. I'm telling you, you're not going to like me for this one. But number 8, for now, North Carolina. Because of their record, they are 9-1, people. They don't have any wins over ranked opponents, but they do have good wins over Duke and Wake Forest. North Carolina has 1 loss, and it was a close loss to Notre Dame. And Notre Dame looks like a pretty good team this year. That's not a bad loss. I will say North Carolina did also have bad games against Miami Hurricanes and Virginia, but nothing too ridiculous. Still just 1 loss. North Carolina has a chance to pick up a couple more good wins to end the season. And I think North Carolina has a chance to beat Clemson. So yes, I have them at number 8. Number 7, this is where I have USC. Yes, because of their record. No wins over a ranked opponent. Best win was against Oregon State. Their only loss was to Utah. USC did have a bad game against Cal. Let's not forget about that. But they are a Power 5 team. They are 9-1. They get to play UCLA and Notre Dame to end the year, so that will definitely test USC. But based on record versus record, I have to put USC at number 7. They've looked a little bit better than North Carolina. Number 6, this is where we're going to have Clemson. Yes, Clemson did get blown out by Notre Dame, but Clemson also has ranked wins against number 21 Wake Forest, number 10 NC State, and number 14 Syracuse, and all three of those teams were good whenever Clemson beat them. And don't forget about the win against Louisville. That is a good win for Clemson. Louisville was coming in hot. They were 6-3 going into that game. That was a good win for Clemson. I have to count it. That win against Florida State is also a good win for Clemson. They have a lot of good wins. Those wins have to count. Clemson is still a good team, and they only have one loss. Why Clemson was so far down and you have these 2-loss LSUs and Alabamas above Clemson makes no sense. I don't care. You can try to explain it all you want. I'm going to stick with it. It makes no sense. That's why I have Clemson at number 6. Number 5, this is where I have Tennessee. They do have one loss, but ranked wins against number 17 Pitt, number 20 Florida, number 25 LSU, number 3 Alabama, and number 19 Kentucky. Tennessee has one heck of a resume, and their only loss was to Georgia. Not a blowout loss either, okay? Tennessee held their own in the second half. I know it was sloppy. Georgia had to change their game plan, but Tennessee didn't get blown out by Georgia on the road. I think that was a decent showing by Tennessee. I do think Tennessee is the number 5 team in the nation. So hey, at least me and the playoff rankings agree on something, right? So that means that the top 4 are going to be exactly the same as the playoff rankings, right? Wrong answer. It's not going to be the same. Let's start with number 4. Michigan. Michigan is undefeated, but their only ranked win is against number 10 Penn State. So yes, I do have to hold their weak schedule against them, but I still have them in the top 4. They'll get their chance of a massive win on the road to Ohio State and win the Big Ten Championship, and boom, Michigan is in the playoffs. But for now, I have you at number 4 because out of all the undefeated teams, you've had the weakest schedule, and you only have one win against a ranked opponent. So Michigan's undefeated. They only have really one good win, but really no bad games for Michigan, so that's a plus for the Wolverines. Number 3, this is where I have Ohio State. They have 2 wins against a ranked opponent. Number 5, Notre Dame, and number 13, Penn State. We all remember the bad game that Ohio State had against Northwestern. So I think Ohio State has had the second weakest schedule. That's why I had to put them at number 3. I'm not saying they're bad. I still have them in my top 4. Ohio State has had the second weakest schedule out of all the undefeated teams. Number 2, this is where I have Georgia. Yep. Next week's schedule is Georgia. Ranked wins over number 11 Oregon and number 1 Tennessee. And I have to count Mississippi State as a good win for Georgia as well. As good as Georgia has been, they also had bad games against Kent State and almost lost to Missouri. Georgia's schedule not as tough as people think. I still have them in my top 4. I have them at number 2, so I'm not totally disrespecting Georgia, but based on record and the schedule that they've played, I have Georgia at number 2. So that means the number 1 team in the nation, in my opinion, as of right now, is TCU. Look at their resume, people. They are still undefeated. Ranked wins over number 18 Oklahoma, number 19 Kansas, number 8 Oklahoma State, number 17 Kansas State, number 18 Texas. You cannot argue with that schedule. TCU has had the toughest schedule out of anybody in the top 25. For TCU, really the only bad game that they've had so far this year was SMU, but they still won that game. And they're still undefeated, and in my opinion, I think that TCU deserves the number 1 ranking now. I thought that their toughest test as far as remaining schedule was last week on the road against Texas, and they passed with flying colors. And if it wasn't for the freak fumble, scoop, and score, the game wouldn't have been close. They were up 17-3. They were looking to go up 24-3. Of course, Max Duggan fumbles the ball. Texas scoops and scores, makes it 17-10. But TCU runs the clock out and still wins the game. So they were one play away from blowing out Texas, not just beating them, but blowing them out. Yes, now I think that TCU is the number 1 team in the nation. They're undefeated, and they have wins over 5 ranked opponents. This is amazing, people. Y'all let me know in the comments section. Number 1, how much do you disagree with me? Number 2, is there a few of you out there that actually agree with me? And number 3, where would you have the top 10 ranked? That's all I got for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.